All right, this is Prelude number 2, Opus 114 by Ferdinando Carulli. And this one's different from the first one that we did a workout with, in that the right hand pattern, instead of triplets like 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, like that, it's 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and so we're doing 16th notes, and we're doing a pattern of P-I-M-I, P-I-M-I as the right hand pattern. And you want to make sure that you plant as your thumb plays, especially when we're doing it slow. Now, some special fingerings are, now these are my own fingerings as far as I know. I mean, I have a thing about, like with G going to D7, normally most people play a D7 with the third finger on the F sharp. And then with the G, you'd have the third finger on the 6th string. So your third finger is jumping from the 6th string to the 1st string, and that's really hard to do quickly. So instead of doing that, you slide your pinky to the F sharp and refinger the D7 in a kind of a weird way. It's pinky, first finger on C, second finger on A of the 3rd string. And then you can just slide up to G. Now, I wasn't doing 3rd finger in the bass. I was doing 2nd finger in the bass, and I like that. It's very comfortable. In my old age, I like to be comfortable, so I move that 2nd finger from the 3rd fret to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. So it is hopping a little bit, but it's not that bad. It's kind of like diagonally. It's really easy to do it. So if I had a cadence like, that would be a lot easier than doing 3rd finger on the D7 and 3rd finger on the low note of the G. You could do that, but it's so much easier just to slide. So much more fluid. So 2nd finger on the bass, pinky on the top on the G, and then pinky slides, and you're doing 2nd and 1st fingers on that D7. Okay? So that's mainly the special fingering, and every D7 that's in this piece, I'm doing that same fingering with the pinky, because it usually, if it doesn't come from the G, it's going to a G. So you just slide it either G to F sharp or F sharp back to G. Just same note, same finger, moving one fret. The other special fingering would be at the very end. Instead of doing pinky, 2nd and 3rd fingers on that last G chord, I'm doing pinky, 1st and 2nd. Again, to me, it's a little more comfortable, and you can just keep the 1st finger down when you go back to that D. You don't have to worry about choking it so much. With the 2nd finger, it could choke it, unless you got really big hands. My hands are kind of medium small, so but anyway, we're going to do a workout now. I think that's all I need to talk about. You want to do dynamics when we're doing it slow. We're going to start at 30 for the quarter note. And when we're doing it slow, you want to play every note pretty loud and deliberate, and make sure you plant. As you get to maybe 70, 75 on the metronome quarter note, on up to 90, you might let go of the planting a little bit. Sometimes I'll bring out the 1st string almost as if it were a melody. You'll hear me doing that. Maybe you heard me in the first run through doing that a little bit. But there really is no melody in this. It's a chord progression, but it's not bad. It's enjoyable to listen to, kind of fun to play. So we're going to start with the metronome. I'm going to time it. This should take about 18 minutes to get through all, I think 15 times. If we go to 100, I'm going to go to 90, and then I'm going to be pushing it to 95 and 100, which is pushing it for me. You know, I might stumble a little bit, but, you know, we'll just laugh about it. You can laugh at me for my mistakes, okay? I don't mind, you know, doesn't bother me. All right, so I'm going to start the metronome. One E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E, ready, go. Plant. Slide that pinky. These are really good fingerings, even if I do say so myself. Very nice to go slow. If you have a hard time keeping up at this speed, it might be that you need to get to know the chord changes better, so you know what's coming next. No surprises. This reminds me, this part, of 60s doo-wop rock and roll. I'm sure Carulli didn't know about doo-wop rock and roll. G chord. First finger on B. Just hold it there. Second finger on the low G with pinky on top. 3, 4, 1, 2, rest. Those half notes at the end seem dreadfully long at the speed we're going, starting out at 30. That took about 2 minutes, so it'll get quicker. 3 E and 4 E and You might really stroke the first string and bring it out. I like to do that, not all the way through the piece. You want to use dynamics. At the slow speed we're doing now, dynamics are not that big an issue. As we speed it up, though, the dynamics will be much, much more important. Really hitting that first string hard with my middle finger, slicing the string. One, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. .40 on the metronome, third time through. 3 E and 4 E and If 30 is too slow for you, you could start at 40. Do a shorter workout. I don't think you can practice a piece too slow. Really, it's very good to do slow. If all this seems very tedious, that's part of being a musician. Sometimes you have to roll up your sleeves and really work. That's what we musicians do. Two, three, four. Oh, I forgot the last chord. Okay, sorry about that. Now 45, 3E and 4E and slower speeds, try to feel every note with your right hand that you're playing with these arpeggios. Rest. 50, 3E and 4E and see, the chords don't seem quite so long now. We're at 50. Going to 55. 3E and 4E and occasionally I miss a note. Starting to get sloppy. It's kind of late at night when I'm doing this here. I'm not making excuses. 3E and 4E and start Start using dynamics. Experiment. If you have a good combination, let me know. I like to get softer on this chord. Build up. Strong on this doo-wop. Soft. Build it up. Okay, going to 65. Three E and a, 4 E and a. We're at about 10.5 minutes. Not bad. Rest. 70. 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Rest. $75. Now we're getting some momentum. 3 E and a, 4 E and a. For about 13.5 minutes, a little less. 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Okay, that was 80. Now, if we get to a certain speed and you're having trouble and you're stumbling, you could try to kind of push yourself and do that speed or go back a couple of notches and go back and work up to that again. But if you're really stumbling, don't go beyond what you can do fairly comfortably. But it is good to push yourself a little bit. It's kind of like working out with weights. You know, you eventually do a little heavier weights. So anyway, 3 and a 40 and a 85. We're getting some speed here, right? So at 85, 90, I still feel like I have a good control over dynamics. When it gets much faster than that, I usually have to soften up on things just to keep it up, you know. 3 and a 40 and a... We're at 90. And that's the speed I recommend. You might just go up to 90. I'm going to push it a little bit and go to 95 and 100. That took 16, a little over 16 minutes. Not bad. 3 and a 40 and a... That was 95. We're going to 100. 3 and a 40 and a... Give me another chance. No. But anyway, that was 100. That workout took 18 minutes. That's not bad. You know, less than 20 minutes to go through it 15 times, from 30 to 100. And around 16 and a half minutes if you only go to 90. Some good workout, you know, with this one arpeggio. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it. I usually, with my students, I just teach the first 5 of the 24 preludes by Carulli. To me, they get maybe a little CD after number 5, but up to number 5 is a really good workout. And you want to do a lot of different patterns, learn to change patterns. It's kind of like a jazz guitar player learning new chords. Jazz guitar, you have to play all kinds of different chords, and learning a new chord is not such a big deal. You want to get that way with classical guitar, to where learning a new arpeggio pattern and a new rhythm is not such a big deal. So it's good to do a lot of different patterns. I do the Op.114 arpeggios as a regular warm-up, and they're really dry. You know, they're just open strings, and you're doing them in triplets, like 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Accenting different fingers, and then you go 1 and 2 and 3 and same pattern, just a different set of accents. Doing 3 groups of 2 or 2 groups of 3, but I go through 10 of those, and it takes me about 8 minutes. And sometimes I'll do like staccato, like, or I'll connect them very dryly, like where one rings right until the moment you play the next one, and you cut off the previous one, playing kind of secco, you know, dry. And then you can do our, like I say, staccato. And if you can do the accents and everything with that, it really helps to balance your right hand and center your right hand for arpeggios. But those are kind of dry, and like if it's early in the morning and I'm not quite awake, I can fall asleep while doing those. I need my, I don't drink coffee, but I do drink a little caffeine, but I'm not going to get off into that. So anyway, have fun with these. I hope this is a good workout. Subscribe to John Hedger Guitar Studio, and like my page on Facebook, John Hedger Guitar Studio, and let me know if this helps you with your studies in classical guitar. I'm doing a lot of videos for beginners, and I'm not sure if I'm going to keep them up. You know, eventually I'm going to have a course and sell the course, but right now they're for free. Let me know if they help you, and if they don't help you, if you have any other suggestions or requests, let me know. Okay. Practice hard and have fun.